Welcome again to Game Yard TV. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, as you may know, West Indies men's cricket team will take on Sri Lanka in a 3-match T20 series starting in a few hours from now. The purpose of this video is to take a look on the squad as well as to propose a starting lineup for that match, that first T20 match. Stay tuned, don't touch that dial. We will be right back. So the West Indies would have published both the ODI squad as well as the T20 squad a few days ago. But for the purpose of this video, we will just be looking on the T20 squad. And you should be seeing it on your screen now. So as we look into the squad, there was a statement made in the article published by Cricket West Indies, which I think I need to bring to your attention, and I will quote: "Several senior players, including Nicholas Pooran, Andre Russell, Akeal Hussain, and Shimron Hetmyer, have opted out of the tour for personal reasons, opening the door for new faces and returning players." End quote. So having reviewed that statement made by Cricket West Indies, it appears a bit ambiguous in my estimation, especially the part that says several players including. So they would have included 4 players, but it suggests to me that there may be other players which they have not quoted, right? And so, because the truth of the matter is, I would really want to know the rationale for the non-inclusion of Obed McCoy, Johnson Charles, Jason Holder, and Kyle Myers. Casey Carty, I think, probably could have, been included in the squad. So that is a bit ambiguous to me, and I think Cricket West Indies should have, made it very clear, why these players were not included. And it just leaves a lot of question in our minds as to why these persons were left out of the squad. As I said, the statement that they would have made is very ambiguous. We are not sure if the quote-unquote several players, those players may have been included, but they weren't quoted, in the article. So, and next thing that came to my mind, so it may be because Pooran, Russell, Hetmyer, they are not under any contract by Cricket West Indies, so they would have made themselves unavailable. I'm not sure, I'm just speculating, and this is not, I'm just speculating here. I'm not saying this is the case, because they would have quoted personal reasons. We don't know what those personal reasons are. The truth of the matter is, we can understand Russell because we noticed that Russell was struggling in the CPL, right? So we can understand his non-inclusion or him not being available. But we would really like to know, and there was no press conference where these questions could be asked and we would get reasonable answer. So that's a point that Cricket West Indies need to improve upon moving forward, because there are a lot of questions that they just left hanging because of the non-inclusion of certain key or I would say more experienced players. So with those players not, being selected or are not available, a few, you know, players would have, returned to the squad, namely Evan Lewis, Andre Fletcher would have returned. Brandon King would have injured, I think, during the World Cup. Sherfane Rutherford, uh, and also Fabian Allen would have returned to the squad. We're going to look on a few names now, which are, included in the squad. Andre Fletcher, in my estimation, with all due respect to Andre Fletcher, in terms of the body of work that he would have put in and the numerous times he would have, represented the region. I think the next major T20 tournament that West Indies will be involved in would be the 2026 World Cup. So I am thinking down that line. I'm not sure if that's what Cricket West Indies is doing, but I think at this time we should be putting together a team for the 2026 World Cup, and including Andre Fletcher, is, I'm not sure if I would include him. With all due respect, as I said, to Andre Fletcher, I think Andre Fletcher is now 38, and November he will be 39, and in the next 2 years, uh, Andre Fletcher will be 41. So I'm not sure if that's where we should be looking. I think and when you look on the age of it, I think it's a very aged team that we would have selected, and I think we should be looking now to include some younger guys into the team. There are a lot of new prospects coming up. They may not be performing at the level that we, would have expected, but there are some good younger players coming up. For example, Joel Andrew, and I will talk about Joel Andrew when I'm reviewing the ODI squad. You have Joel Andrew, Kevin Wickham, Rivaldo Clark, Teddy Bishop, Joshua Bishop, Jordan Johnson. There are a lot of young players. Ogis is another upcoming talent. So we should be looking on these young talent. There should be a good blend of young players and experienced players in the T20 squad. And currently, I'm looking on the team. There's not a good balance between young and experienced players in the squad. It's mostly experienced players, and that's a cause for concern for me moving forward, because we should be looking on putting together a solid team for the 2026 World Cup, which is not far from now. So I think something that Cricket West Indies need to look into going forward as we seek to, return to the top in T20 cricket. And when you look on the other nations, right, the stronger nations, there's a good blend of young players. When you look on the Indians, the England, right, the Australians, they have a good balance in terms of experience and young players. So I think we should be investing in our young players in the region some more, and to have more confidence, in giving them a chance and allow them to express themselves. Because if you give them the chance, over and over, at some point they will become good. So I think Cricket West Indies need to look into that, as we move forward, or as a region. So I just give you my honest, thought or opinion on the squad. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to support West Indies. I will be behind them 100%, of course. But I'm giving my honest opinion as it relates to the squad. I think we need a more, you know, blend, a good blend of young and experienced players going forward. So at this point, we will be looking now at my proposed 11, right? And for the records, this is not a starting 11 published by Cricket West Indies. This is just my selection based on the squad that was published by Cricket West Indies. And I'm trying to pick the strongest players based on the squad that was published. So I would encourage you to also put your starting 11 in the comment section, and I will, take the time to go through, your starting 11 as well. And if you do not agree with my starting 11, you can, give your objection in the comment section and say why you include this player or why you haven't included this player. So I encourage you to just put your comments in the comment section. Now, I've seen where, you know, West Indies would have tried Athanaze and Sheawoop at the top of the order, which in my estimation haven't come good for us. So I will resort to Brandon King and Evan Lewis at the top of the order. Right, number 3 for me would be Sheawoop. As you know, Sheawoop, in my estimation, is the best technical batsman in the squad. So I will have him at number 3. Right. Number 4 is very tricky. It's depending on the nature of the game. I would, send Ruston Chase. If we would have lost early wicket, I would send Ruston Chase to kind of, build back a partnership there. But as I said, it's dependent on the nature of the game. If I need quick runs, I would send Ravman Powell before him. So I would put Ruston Chase at number 4, Ravman Powell at 5, Ravman Powell at 5, Sherfy and Rutherford at 6, and number 7 would be Romario Shepherd. And I mean, number 7 can be Romario Shepherd or Fabian Allen, depending on the nature of the game, right? So Romario Shepherd at 7, Fabian Allen at 8. Then Budakish Moti would be at 9, Alzari Joseph at 10, and Shamar Joseph at 11. I think that's the best 11, based on the squad that was selected. So again, share your thoughts in the comment section and I will go through and review them. So as you would have noticed that I would have gone with 3 spinners, 2 left arm, 1 right arm. 2 left arm would be Fabian Allen and Moti, and the right arm would be Ruston Chase. The 2 seamers would be Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph. And then I would go with Romario Shepherd as my medium pace bowler. Right? The Ranjiri Dambola Stadium in Sri Lanka is a bowler friendly pitch. It tends to do much for the seam bowlers in the morning, while in the evening it do more for the spin bowlers. So in the morning it generally has a high water table, and also it has heavy sweating in the morning, so it tends to do more for the seam bowlers. But in the afternoon it tends to be very dry, get very dry, and it crumbles, so the spin bowlers would it would do a lot more for the spin bowlers in the afternoon. So depending on the conditions, I guess we would have to wait and to see what West Indies will do depending on the conditions. But um, this the team that I have selected, I think it is well balanced, and I hope the guys will do well. And we are here in the West Indies supporting you guys, and I hope that you will make us proud. As it relates to head, we would have played 15 T20s against both West Indies and Sri Lanka, with Sri Lanka winning 8 while West Indies winning 7. That's one objective we want to achieve in this series. We want to go ahead of Sri Lanka as it relates to wins. So thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining us, and please stay tuned for the review of the ODI squad.